Alright, got him. This is the way I like it. Alright, that was all my fault. I had my phone set to portrait, not auto rotate, so it wasn't letting me rotate my phone no matter what I was doing. So, let me wait for a couple people to come in. There was like 11 people. Hopefully they all come back. They all find the correct video. I wrote live in the beginning of this one. I'm going to have to go back and delete the other one, even though it's going to be obvious that it's only like 1 minute long. But, the object of this video is to first look at the Azeroth, and then we will build Azeroth by Coil art. Alright. Yeah, this is what much better, right? So, Wes, what's up? Brad, Jeffrey, Andrew, Steven, what's up? What's up? What's up? Looks like I lost 2 people. Dwayne, what's up? Hopefully they'll find their way. I guess it's going to be obvious when you watch the other one that, to go to the other video. It's only 1 minute long. Let me just get my, my vaping ready. My, mod. And before I get into, the Azeroth, just like last week, I kind of, told you guys about the RDA I did the week before. So the Dead Rabbit, this thing's got awesome flavor, the Dead Rabbit. I'm not going to go too into it. I really like it. It's really fun to build on. But I think most of you guys know that it was, you know, it was given to me to take pictures and stuff. So I'm not going to go too into it. I think it's a really good buy for 35 hours, but I'm not going to sit here and gush about it. It's got awesome flavor. There's one thing about it that, that is, I guess you could call it a downfall. It's not a really big one, but, the video I did, the one day I put hybrids in here and they were 6 wrap. And even these coils that are in here are pretty big. Yeah, this is the Dead Rabbit. When you're doing dual coil, you're not going to be able to put like massive coils in there. Alright, these posts are fairly close together considering other 2 posts that are out nowadays. So, it's perfect for 4 wraps. I mean, these are big coils. So, perfect for a 4 wrap, but you ain't fitting like, unless you do a single coil. You could probably fit a single coil, like, smaller pitchfork in there, yeah. But when you're doing dual coil, you're not going to fit 2 big coils in here in a conventional way. But that's like literally, like the flavor on this thing's amazing. Like, it's definitely like an all-day vape. So, it's definitely worth picking up. And it's still very fun to build in. So, that's pretty much all I'm going to say about that. So that's the Dead Rabbit for you. I would definitely recommend picking it up. Obviously. The Azeroth is something that, as soon as it came out and I seen the deck, I wanted it. This I bought myself. It was like, where did I get this from? I got this from Element Vape, and it was like 35 bucks, I think. Maybe 30 bucks, 35. Oh, what's up, Justin? Is Addy here? What's up, Addy? Alright. So, the Azeroth by Coil Art. There's a couple Azeroths out. There's an Azeroth RDA, I think. And then there's an Azeroth by, what is it called? Cthulhu is the company. They have like the Gaia RDA. So they have an Azeroth, but this is the Azeroth that I really wanted. So it's very, it's a 24 millimeter. The O-rings are tight as hell. So it was hard for me to push this back down, and I was just trying to get on the video. But I'll show you. There's 2 O-rings, and usually when they're this tight, I usually pop one off because it's just kind of ridiculous being this tight. The icon was this tight too. It's ridiculous. So it's a 3-coil deck, 6-post deck. It's a lot like, almost like a postless in the sense, just like the Dead Rabbit, that the holes are in the bottom of the deck. So, you know, kind of the same theme with the holes at the bottom. And this is gold. Gold plated positive posts. The negative posts are milled into the deck. And then the positive post is, you know, it's got insulation all around it. But if I unscrewed the 510, that flux capacitor symbol would come out. Which I'm not really into doing that right now. But it would pop right out if I unscrewed that. Kenny, what's up? Redneck Vapor, what's up? So, the cap's gold plated. I'm guessing these are for getting rid of some heat. It comes with a black drip tip also. Extra screws, all that good stuff. These guys know. Allen key for the, this is actually the first time I'm playing with it. I opened it up, looked at it yesterday, and put it right back for today. So, what else was I just going to say? Oh, about, I don't know if anybody's ever tried 4 coils or 4 coil RDA, or, yeah, 4 coil RDAs. 4 coils could be very, very hot. Yes, this is a triple coil. That's what I'm going to be putting in here, too. But, 4 coils is a very hot vape, but I think 3 coils, for people that like hot vapes, I think 3 coils is a really good idea. So I guess I'll see and find out. But, as you can see with this, kind of like how I was explaining with the Dead Rabbit, the posts are close together. But on here, it doesn't matter because I wouldn't go from here to here if I had bigger coils. I would go from here to here, and you got much more room going that way. So here to here, here to here, here to here. So if you wanted to do basic coils, you would go here to here in the close ones, like for your round wire builds or Claptons, maybe some small fuse Claptons, like 28 gauge fuse Claptons. You could probably fit like a 6 wrap in there of them in these small spaces, but something bigger, you want to jump that gap and go from here to there. I love how this thing looks just like that. And the top cap has kind of the Goon OG style with the 3 holes, but there's 3 sets of them. 3 sets of 3 holes. This cap also has 3 sets of 3 holes. So it's kind of use 3 holes or nothing. I mean, the least you could do is use a hole on each setup side. This tolerance is good. I kind of like this. It's a little tight. Let's check our drip tip. Where's that drip tip? Well, we know the Dead Rabbit fits a Goon cap. We know this fits on the Goon, so this is a Goon cap. And the Dead Rabbit cap fits, so it's a Goon size drip tip. That's what that is. Yep. Goon size drip tip. You know what else I kind of wanted to try? The whole Goon cap. The whole Goon cap also fits on there. So let's say you wanted to put a single coil on there. Or a dual coil. The Goon cap fits on the Azeroth. The Azeroth cap fits on the Azeroth, of course. Azeroth cap. Little tight on the Goon. Yeah, I don't know about the Azeroth cap on the Goon, though. That's a clone Goon, though. 1 second. Let me get a real Goon. Alright, so here's a real Goon cap on the Azeroth. And here's the Azeroth cap. Doesn't fit on the Goon. Alright. I don't know why you would want to put that on there anyway. But I think it's pretty cool that the Goon cap fits on the Azeroth. Alright. So that's pretty good to know. And for shits and giggles, let's see what the Dead Rabbit does. Goon cap does not fit on the Dead Rabbit, which is fine because it wouldn't line up with the holes anyway. Who cares? That means nothing with the Dead Rabbit. I think that's cool though that the Goon cap fits on the Azeroth, just in case you didn't want to do 3 coils. Let's say you get it, you never tried 3 coils, and it's just not your thing. Then you can throw your Goon cap on there and still have fun with the deck. Alright. This is metal. This is not gonna be good for me. I know that's gonna get too hot. I'll try it though. Fuck it. We'll try it. But I know that's gonna be too hot with 3 coils. I just know it. Alright. See if I can just... What you guys talking about? Looks like if you adjust the goalpost closer to the black ones. I was thinking that too, Andrew, but I think that the insulator, we'll try it. I think that the insulator is actually kind of in there, so these stay in the same place. I was thinking that too, like if I loosened it up and just turned this, that maybe I could get bigger coils in, or I could get the post exactly where you want it. I think that'd be cool, but I could see inside there, and I see that, I think that insulator is going to hold it. Maybe not. It kind of looks like it would. I mean, there's only one way to find out, right? It's actually a Phillips head. Yeah, I could have a lot of fun with this 3 coil. Like I said, as soon as I seen this thing, I wanted it. I thought it was cool as hell looking. And I think 3 coils is a lot of fun. Now I just got to figure out how to unscrew this without damaging it. Ah, Jesus. There you go. That was one of the tightest screws I've ever felt. Okay, so there's an insulator in the middle of it, of the goal post and the negative posts. So I think you could tighten it down like this. But you do want to make sure, if you're playing around with this thing like this, you got to make sure that your positive isn't touching that deck, because you could put yourself in big problems. So I'm just going to leave it the way it should be. I'm sure it's nice and spaced out the way they wanted it. So we're just going to put that back. But, I mean, you could turn it. This is as close as it's getting. Pretty much how it came is as close as it's getting. If I wanted to do that and put it, you could. You know, just put it on. If you did something like this, Engineer 1 RDA 0. If you did it like this, if you play with this at all, just like I did, put it on an RDA and make sure that there's, put it on a box and make sure that there's not a short or anything in it. It should just, what should it read here? Check atomizer. So it should read check atomizer. If it says short, then maybe them posts are touching your deck. Alright? I'm just going to end up leaving it where it is, though. That's right, Addy. Yep. You got to share some wicking space, so it's probably designed the way it is to leave room for the wicking. Which is fine. That's, I'd venture to guess that this is going to stay like this for as long as I have it. So just the action of tightening it will make sure that they all go as close to each other as they're supposed to. Alright, let me back up a bit. Whoa, that's not backing up. Alright, now that I just tighten it down again, let me just make sure that, check atomizer, alright, so we're good. Alright, let's get on to the build and throw it in here. So there was a couple things I was going to put in here, but everything else that I was thinking was a little too simple, and it was something I've already did videos for. I was going to do like one alien, one twisted fuse Clapton, and one stagger fuse Clapton in here, all like two of the same core, so they're pretty much the same coil, just with different skins, different ways of doing them. But instead I figured a Tuney coil would be perfect. There's a lot of different ways to make Tuney coils. And when I say Tuney coil, I do mean Addy Tuney, Tuney219 from Instagram. He's in the chat right now. I asked him if he wouldn't mind if I showed people how to make some Tuney wire. And even though I know Tuney likes to share, and it's a great coil to get to know, great flavor. If you ever watch the Fresh show, we would talk about it a couple times. And it's just something different to do. So there's different kinds of Tuney wire. I guess in the simplest form, it would be a fuse Clapton. But instead of two cores that are 26 gauge or whatever, you would have one 26 gauge core and one core of twisted wire, which is usually made up of two pieces of 30 gauge twisted. And then you wrap that with a Clapton wire, usually 38, because it kind of falls into the grooves the right way. Or it doesn't fall into the grooves, I should say. It wraps it correctly with 38. So that would be the simplest form, is 26 gauge paralleled with two pieces of 30 gauge twisted to the max, and then Clapton with 38. Great flavor coil. I definitely suggest you try it, and it comes out looking pretty damn cool. Alright, but what I'm going to do is just a little step up. It's also a Tuney wire, but you know, sometimes he would throw a couple pieces of ribbon in, and we're not talking like 6-8 pieces of ribbon. We're talking like even just 3 pieces of ribbon. You could do 1, 2, 3 pieces of ribbon, and that's all you really need. Any kind of ribbon. You could experiment with it. That's like the fun of the Tuney coil. Experiment the flavor, and I've put 0.8 in the middle. I believe I've seen that from Tuney. I believe the first one that I seen him do was 3 pieces of 0.8. If not, then it was 3 pieces of 0.5. But I think I've put just about every combination of 3 wires in between these coils before. And they're just really flavorful coils, and they look really cool, and they're fun to make. So we are going to make a set of 3, and they're going to be 26 gauge. They're going to be, all I have is 30 gauge Canthal, which is going to be fine. I'm going to use 30 gauge Canthal, twist it. The frame is going to be 26 stainless steel. And the ribbon I'm going to use inside to keep the ohms down, I'm going to use 3 pieces of 0.3. So let me start this over again and show you that I'm going to use 26 stainless steel, 30 canthal, twist it for the frames. And then we're going to use 0.3 canthal, 3 pieces of it for inside. And then we're going to wrap it with, let me see how much stainless steel I have left. Ugh, so close. It's like so close. I don't know if this is enough or not for 3 coils. I'll save it for something else. I think at the moment Tuney is liking to do these in all stainless steel. But this is going to make a good set of coils right here. And the best part about it is it's not going to be that high in ohms. This may, yeah, Flavor Monsters. This may come out, I'm shooting for around a 0.1 with these 3 coils, and I think I'm going to get that. The only thing that's going to kind of hold me from the 0.1 might be the 26 stainless steel, but that's alright. I think I'm going to get a 0.1 with 3 coils. I think I could get 3 6 wraps in here. If not, then 5 wraps. I think I could still get it. So we're going to see how many wraps of this coil fit in here. Alright. Alright. So, to start out, I need to make sure that I'm going to make myself enough wire for 3 coils. So I usually like to have 4 inches per coil. That gives me plenty enough to mess with. And 3 times 4 is 12, so I'm going to prep a more than 12 inch stick. So when I'm done, I have plenty enough for 3 coils. So first, I'm going to get my 26 gauge stainless. I'm going to stretch it straight. And I'm going to cut it off of this messed up spool. Alright, so I got my 26 gauge frame here. And you know what, before I get this started too far, alright, 26 gauge. Now, I should get out my 30 gauge. So since I prepped about, I don't know, 14 inches of this stainless steel 26, I need about 28 inches of 30, so I could bend it in half and spin it. So now with this, in order for the Clapton to come out the way that it looks best, what you really need to do is twist this to the max. You really just got to twist it with your drill. Let the one side break, flip it around, twist it again until the other side breaks. And actually, I'm going to prep more than the 28 I said, because sometimes I got to cut some off. So I'm getting about, I don't know, 30 inches out of here. So 30 inches of 30 gauge. I'm going to bring that 30 inches of 30 gauge together. I'm going to make a loop real quick. And for right now, that's fine. So now, what I need to do is get my drill. Oh. I'm going to take my 30 gauge and I'm going to make sure that I have a 90 in each of the pieces. I'm going to insert into my drill. Put my drill in the forward motion. Then I'm going to grab, what's up, Joel? The other end of my loop. I'm going to pull, not too tightly now. Not at first. I'm just going to pull a little bit of tension and start twisting. Alright. Once I got a nice even twist and it looks like nothing's going to mess up on me, then I could start pulling a little tighter. Alright, everything looks good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this tight away from the drill and spin it. It's going to start compressing, and eventually it's either going to snap off here or snap off at the drill. And that's what you want. Alright. It snapped off at the drill, which is usually where it snaps off. Now I'm going to take that loop. I'm going to put a 90 in it. And I'm going to insert this side in my drill. Keep the drill in the same motion, forward motion. You don't put it in reverse. Keep it in the same exact motion. I'm going to grab this end with my needle noses, clamp down on it tight. You can kind of give it a little bend here. It'll help you hold it. Pull it away from the drill and twist. This is just going to assure that you twisted it all the way. And it should snap off again at the drill. And it shouldn't take too long. There you go. It actually snapped off at my needle noses. So now sometimes if you pull enough pressure, you won't get too much of this going on, how it's like over twisted. But if you do, that's why I did a little extra. Just snip it off. Alright. So now I got my twisted wire and my 26. And they're damn near the same size. So that's why it's good to use these two wires. Now, you could just Clapton this and get an awesome fuse Clapton Tuney wire. Still great coils. He might even like the, you would have to ask Tuney, but he may even like these better. I'm not sure. I know he sent me a tank with these fuse Claptons in there, and it was awesome. They don't come out too high, even if you use like all stainless steel or all nichrome. They're like, I should say they do come out high. You know, it's not a very low build, but the flavors on them is awesome. So you could just fuse this with 38 and be on your way. If you like fuse Claptons a lot, I would definitely try this. If you're just looking for something to build, I would definitely try it. You want to look for something new or a coil that just vapes really good. You like some ribbon in the middle best. So what's the ribbon you've been using most lately? Addy, has it been 0.3 in the middle? And how many pieces around? I know when I first seen you do it, it was like 3 pieces of like 0.5 or 0.8. I think it was 0.8 before. That could have just been me that did that because I only had 0.8, but I could have swore you did 0.8 before. Yeah. Don't forget to check out the advocacy raffle in October, guys. And there's another giveaway on my channel coming up, too. So if you missed the first one, there is another one coming up. 1 or 2.3 in the middle, yeah. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just going to do 2.3 because there's a couple reasons why. To keep down the ohms and to keep down the size of it. Plus, it's going to be easier just to fold over one piece and just do 2 pieces in the center. Alright, so I'm going to take my 0.3, 2 times the size of my frames. Give it a little stretch just to straighten it out. Snip it off my spool. Fold the 0.3 in half. What's up, clean as fuck coils? So I'm just folding this 0.3 in half. Just one piece, fold it in half to make 2 pieces. And I'm going to grab some 40 gauge. Just for binding wire. And I'm going to wrap this loop. Just like 4 or 5 wraps. It's not too hard to keep 2 pieces of ribbon stacked together. And then I'm going to take my twisted wire. I'm going to put it on one side. I'm going to take my stainless steel wire and I'm going to put it on the other side. So basically, it's a 2-ply frame staple, but one of the frames is twisted wire. And after I get them both on either side of the ribbon, I could wrap this. Alright. I'm building some Tuney wire, which is basically, like I said, a frame staple with only 2-ply of 0.3 in the middle, but one of the frames is 30 gauge twisted. Alright, so now I'm going to slide my fingers down. Make sure everything's good above my fingers. And I'm going to put another wrap in this once I know that everything's good. It is a sick logo. I really do like that logo. Alright, I'm going to run my fingers down a little further. And I'm going to wrap it with some 40 again. I'm just going to leave some on so I'm able to take it out when I'm ready. Pinch, run my fingers down, make sure everything's good. Make sure them 2 pieces of ribbon are still standing up in the center of my frames. And I'm going to wrap it again. So since this is 3 coils, this is a fairly long strand. So I got to do a couple binds in it. Alright, I'm going to come down to the end here, and I'm just going to cut this bent stuff off and everything. I got a lot of wire here prepped, probably more than I need. What's up, Drew? And I'm going to run my fingers down one more time. Bind it up. And I'll show you guys a close-up of what this looks like before I wrap it. Then I'm going to come down to the end, make sure everything's good, and wrap it up. This one's going into my drill, so I'm going to wrap this one really good. Alright. Work, sleep, rinse, repeat. Alright. So I'm all binded up all the way down. So now, just because of how I binded this, how it's the ribbon looped, and that's what's going to go onto my swivel, I don't want my swivel to grab that ribbon, me pull on my drill, and the ribbon get pulled out. So I'm going to hot glue up here and down by the drill. Wait, wonder if YouTube will let me change. Yeah, it'll let you change your username. I changed my username before I start it back up again. Alright, just gonna let that hot glue dry. Yeah, Stanley, a little bit bigger than the Bic, right? I like to hit my hot glue at like 1,000 degrees, so. So now I'm going to put my loop on my swivel. I'm going to pull this end so everything pulls nice and straight. Lines up nice and good. Make sure that everything's okay. And once I have everything okay, I'm going to keep tension going this way and hot glue the part that's going to go into my drill chuck. Alright. Just gonna let that hot glue dry. I'll show you what it looks like before I wrap her up, and we'll wrap her up. Get some coils wrapped, install them. Alright. So there it is, 2 pieces of 0.3 standing up in the middle, 26 on one side and twisted 30 on the other. So the idea when you clap in this, isn't to fall in them gaps and helix it. You want to actually fully clap in this, just like a frame staple. And you're going to get a cool little design. Yeah. So far so good. That's what you want to see. Alright, like I said, you want to clap in this fully. Not like a helix. You want to fully clap in it all the way. So like a frame staple, the juice absorbs in there. I'll talk about more about it when we're done. Alright. So we can get our loop on the swivel, and then get now the 38's pretty important with this, especially if you have the 30 gauge twist in there. I think it falls in, or it doesn't fall in just the right way. It makes the design just right. Clapton's the whole thing with just making the kind of design you're looking for, which I can't really explain until it's done, but it basically has little ridges on the edge of it when you're done Claptoning this. Alright, make sure everything's copacetic. Make sure my swivel's twisting. And now, just like a frame staple, you want to Clapton this. It is very easy to get gaps in this. You don't want that. You want to just have a nice tight Clapton, as tight as you can get it. It's going to want to make spaces sometimes, but you got to just reverse and fix it if it does. Once you get into fusing it, you'll see the feeling, and you'll just fuse it just like a fused Clapton or a frame staple. I want to fuse a little bit. Get some pliers, make sure everything's good, just like any other coil. Make sure that you're starting off good. I have a bend in my 26 here, and it's just really messing me up, so I'm going to skip over this beginning part and just go to where I got plenty of wire to skip over it. I gotta make an adjustment because of that 26 gauge. That's gotta go. Where is my hot glue? I seen that as I was prepping it too. I knew I should have gotten rid of it. Just waiting for this hot glue. Yep. Prep work is key for sure. And I think I want to put a slider in this as well. So I'm going to get some 0.4. Just a little piece. Do 3 wraps. Crimp it down. And then one more wrap and crimp it down. Hopefully this will still slide even though there's twisted wire on here. I think it will. It might be rough, but we'll see. And I'm going to take my 38 before I put it in my drill. Wrap it around the hot glue. Cut a little bit off. Get it back in the drill. Start off slow, make sure everything's going good. Crimp it down a little bit. And much better. All right. Yep. There's my slider. That's going to keep everything lined up as I go. It's a bit long here, so I could take that off right there. Now the only thing about my slider is I had a piece of 40 gauge behind it. I'm going to have to take that off and for now on slide them 40s out of the way before I get my slider over it. Because usually when there's 2 sliders and they crash into each other, it usually makes it hard for them to slide. It kind of depends. It's already hard enough to slide that there's twisted wire inside this thing. And here's what we got going. So the 2 pieces of 0.3 are in the middle there. The 30 gauge twisted to a max, and then the 26 gauge is frames. And this is kind of the result you get. The 38 fits like right in there. It looks cool as shit, right? This is the beginning. It's a cool design, right? I think a couple people used to call it a fire coil. I think Tuney's better. I think maybe DEVINE. Pretty cool looking though, right? Yeah, that's why the wires I'm using are kind of important. The 30 gauge twisted with the 38 Clapton, that's important. That combination is very important. It's not easy to get this same design with different combinations of wire. I've tried. And it just puts that twisted wire aspect in here. So basically, I guess the idea is it probably holds a little more juice than a frame staple because of all them crevices that are being put into there. There's a bunch of extra gaps being put into this wire that normally wouldn't be in there. You just want to make sure that you Clapton it tight, because if you hold this on an angle, it will just half helix it all the way down. It will just fall into them helix gaps. No, yeah, you thought it was going to look like a helix wire, but no. Straight Claptoned all the way. And it just has bumps on the side of it. And twisting that 30 to the max is very important also. Flavor you get off these coils is surprising. I definitely think you should try it. Especially for like tanks and RDTAs and shit that you need some smaller builds in. Had a little something happen here. see where it started. There it is. Bring my slider back. Just do a little at a time. I probably could have took my time prepping that 0.3 a little better before I put it in the stack. I kind of prepped it all together. I probably should have made sure that the 0.3 was together before I put the frames on. Probably one thing I would have changed if I did it again. But we're gonna be good. Did it again. You shouldn't have to use these nylon pliers if you prep it right. So yes, I'm telling you, I probably didn't prep it right. Like I said, I probably should have took care of the 0.3 before I put the frames on, instead of prepping it all together. But, all done. Alright, I'll show you guys one more time before I wrap some coils up. And these coils aren't particularly hard to wrap up depending on how many ribbons you put in there. They pretty much wrap like a fuse Clapton. So thank you, Addy. You know, if you wanted to really get crazy, if you're feeling really toony, you could twist this before you wrap it. Yeah, I think everybody should try some tuning wire. I forget what the 40 gauge, like a smaller gauge, I forget what that kind of did. Actually, a smaller gauge did look kind of cool, actually. Name change success. Crazy face. Yeah, it is, ain't it? I have done it with smaller. There's also a thing that the 38 does just vape good, too. It depends what you like. Like, I think that 36 and 38 vape better than 40 in most applications. What's up, Mark? Yeah, Zach, 34 is hotter. It just sometimes it takes a little longer to ramp up, but 34 is good in some applications. It's definitely hotter, you're right. Yeah, flattening this out would be pretty cool. Maybe one day I'll do that. Right now, I gotta focus on the task at hand. But, we'll play around with this a couple times. Oh, don't get me wrong. I love playing with 40. It's like my favorite wire to fuse with and stuff like that because it just looks really good. 40 looks great. But when it comes to vaping, I'd rather vape 36, 38. All right. Well, next time, flatten it. Yeah. Alright. So I guess I'm going to do... I'm doing a 3mm because... Should I do 2.5? Because of all the wicking I'm going to have to put in here? You said you braid with 40 and 42 gauge? Damn. Yeah, I think I've done 40 before. It wasn't successful, but damn. I don't know where my other 2.5 rod's at, but I have this here. So 2.5 it is. I'm gonna see if I could hit some 6 wraps with this. Oh, it's gonna eat up six wraps. Hell yeah. Shit, 5 wraps fits in the small ones. I wonder if 6 wrap fits in the small ones. Damn, this thing could fit bigger coils than I thought, maybe. I was expecting to only be able to do smaller builds in here. But damn. Damn, that damn near eats up 6 wrap. It's a little silly, but it's definitely gonna be better like that. Okay. 6 wrap it is. Six wraps around a 2.5. Yeah, it's definitely doable. I know people that have braided with 42. 40's doable. Nobody said it was going to be easy. Alright. Now I just got to see what the length of my leads is going to be. I got my 3 coils here. So these posts go down pretty fucking deep. They go like all the way down, I believe. Yeah, they go down pretty deep. Just nip this. So this is an exact example of what the Mad Rabbit tries to stay away from. The guesswork of me getting the proper size of my leads. I meant to take that last coil and measure it up to the other lead so I could cut them all the same, but yeah, these are pretty deep deep posts, so that's pretty cool. You don't have to cut them perfect. I mean, this is literally the first build I'm putting in here. I just opened this thing up to look at it, and I put it away until tonight when I started the video. So pretty easy to build on, really. Pretty straightforward. Just get a little bit of heat on them to straighten them out. Yeah, it may not be fun to wick. I guess we'll see. I've gotten pretty good at wicking in my old age. Come on. I'm way too close. Looks good. You should join a build team. Good one. Yeah, try a smaller Clapton. I don't think I'm going to get any pictures of this anyway. I'm going to vape this right away. I've done these with smaller Claptons. You would have to search in my feed pretty far. I mean, these coils are getting up there in age. This one's the one I kept reversing. Phone camera broke, can't post the IG. Yeah, that does suck. Alright, so let's see what this bitch ohms out to. Yeah, I've never tried, you know, I definitely didn't try with bigger than 42 because I wasn't using wires that big in gauge when, or that small in gauge, I should say, when I started making these. So look how tight this flicker is. That actually went on good. Can't wait to put something in this and shoot it. I'm gonna be vaping these right away, so I'm not really gonna be able to shoot it. Turn this down. Yeesh, it's reading low. Jesus. There goes my 0.1 theory. Wow. So it's still going to get up there, I know it. But right now, I got 0.06 on a DNA. So much for that 0.1 that I thought I was going to hit. But once these wires get heated, the hot spots out, I'm going to see a bigger number than that. Fishing spinners to my spin out. This is just a hook. The only other reason why I would add them on there is usually for micro Claptons, and so I can get an angle. This is just a hook. Yeah, just to try, like I said in the video, just to try out the whatchamacallits. To try out the swivels. And the spin LT doesn't keep up with very small gauges. I can't Clapton 36 with the spin LT. It just doesn't spin. I love the spin LT, so I mean the swivels didn't give me much. You know what? In that video I did, what did I do? I did a parallel Clapton on the 0.4mm. I actually did like having them on there. That's why I did that. Yeah, I wanted to try it with the 4 pieces of ribbon. I feel like it twisted a little less. I've never had a problem with the spin LT doing 4 pieces of ribbon. But I feel it only helped putting the swivels on there. And when I put them swivels are like really good. When I put them swivels on there, like the spin LT doesn't spin. And that's the croc swivels. But for micro Claptons, no. The spin LT I think you're talking about. Yeah, Crocs are the swivels I was using. This was $20. That's just the basic spin LT. And the Croc swivels are like, for the 110-pound Croc swivels, it's like 2 of them for like, what were they? I think they were $3. Yeah. I think 2 swivels are $3. High ohms besides fused Claptons. Two core aliens. When you're looking for higher ohms, you're more talking about alloys. I mean, you could build frame staples that are high ohms. 28 gauge frames, 0.3 ribbon, all Canthal. I mean, you'll get high ohms there. But if you want to use nichrome, you know, you gotta minus some wires. You got the 550s, huh? How much were the 550s? What gauge aliens? You could do 28 gauge alien 6 wrap, come out to like damn near a 0.2. I think 0.18. Why are all builders OCD? 2 for $8. I don't know. That OCD thing might just be one of the things that makes builders like doing what they do. Oh yeah, Mark. Well, you're talking about on a stack. 30 gauge aliens you could use on a stack, 10 wrap. 28 gauge aliens you can on a stack though. Yeah, I actually just made 28 gauge 28 gauge aliens for somebody for a stacked mod. I believe they were 9 wrap, around a 3.5. What's up, Rich? A stitched alien. I was going to move on to the alien tutorials after the frame staple tutorial. I was going to move on to the other kinds of aliens, but a stitched alien. I don't know. I could do a little video sometime really soon. Not necessarily a tutorial, but just show you how I do them. Yeah, there's plenty of space in this RDA. It might be a little crowded when I wick, but it is 2.5 millimeter inside diameter, which is also keeping my ohms low. Yeah, these are Tuney coils. Here comes some yellows. Yeah, 3mm would have fit fine. I think the wick would have been more of a problem with 3mm. Yeah, I thought it would be higher too. It's going to get up there. Already at 0.08. I could see, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up at 0.1. Just because of the wires that are in there. Kanthal, ribbon, stainless steel. Usually they move, their numbers move pretty, look it. Jumping around to 0.09, 0.1. Let me tighten them down. Oh no. I didn't have the phone charging the whole time. What's pretty cool about YouTube is, let's say if I didn't... Let's say if I didn't throw my phone on the charger and my phone turned off, I could put it on the charger, get it on 3%, keep it on the charger, put my phone on, and hop right back on this video. I even think you guys could stay in the chat. I think that's happened before. I think it would just say paused video. You don't like grub screws, Cloud Envy? It's the Twisted Messes Allen key. Ain't nothing wrong with Claptons. I like Claptons every once in a while. Alright. Button's getting hot. I'm going to have to let this cool down. Looks like I'm pretty much there anyway. Yeah. Let it cool down a little bit. See what it reads after it cools down. It's probably going to be 0.09, 0.1. Yeah, I don't like that ribbon at all. Exactly once. Yeah, 4-core stagger fuse Claptons ain't easy. Yeah, Pure Adamus, Coil Society, Kidney Punch are probably the 3 best. Kidney Puncher you're going to pay. Alright, let me get some cotton. And actually, while I'm at it, I gotta put my air on. It's gonna be a little loud, but if I keep talking, I should be good. Lightning vapes. If I got time tomorrow, which I might, because I'm working pretty close to home, if I got time tomorrow to go live on Instagram and do a stitched alien, I will. So we'll see what happens. There it is on the Twisted Messes. 0.1. Cooled down on a different mod. Shit, it's even saying 0.1, 0.12. Yeah, that's why I wanted to do these Tuney coils, because usually they don't ohm out that high. I mean, I thought that if I did a dual, it would be almost a 0.2, doing it the same way. I guess I kind of underestimated a little, but it looks like I got there. Light and evenly. Alright. Thanks, guys. I might be a little too close. There you go. Alright, let's wick this thing up. I guess we'll see how hard it is to wick. Now it's 2.5 millimeter. So I gotta go a little thinner than usual. Alright. So I'm thinking of ordering the Springer RDA for next week. Is there anything, any other RDAs you guys would like to see? I mean, there's a couple I could think of. The Springer's one of them. I'd like to see what that thing's all about. And that new dot mod looks awesome. Yeah, the new dot mod looks awesome. I don't think I'm going to do a full video on the Druga posts. They still didn't come yet, and that was the first thing I ordered. I got a couple other packages before them posts. So, I may just throw it. I was going to throw it in this video also, if they came today, but they didn't. So, I guess, maybe I'll show them off on Saturday. I don't know. I ordered it from Augvape. Well, their site. They redirect you somewhere. I'm not a big fan of their site. Oh yeah, the DJ LSB, yeah. I want to focus on newer ones, that's for sure. On newer Addies. So stuff that people want to see and may not have yet. A buddy of mine made a good point. I wasn't going to get into like showing off RDAs or anything. I definitely don't want to review anything. Just build and show them off. And he just made a good point that most reviewers say, oh, look at this deck, it's great, you could fit whatever builds in there. But nobody ever really tries to fit any build in there. They just say, oh, a builder would love this. When actually a builder has never really picked it up and said they loved it, you know? So it's something that's kind of lacking that I think would probably be good to have around if I did that. Just because something has big post holes doesn't mean that you could fit any build in there. So you would definitely want to not have to wick it like this. If you wanted to put the smaller coils in, it would definitely be better if my wicks were just falling down here, you know? What's up, Dan? Like this, putting it behind it is not the ideal position you want to be putting these in. Maybe I should have did 5 wraps around a 3mm and kept them in here. But it should still work fine. I'm just going to blame it on Drew. Drew made me do it. Whatever, I'll just have to, these coils do hold a lot of juice, but I'll just have to drip it a little more often with this build. I'm going to want to play in this thing anyway. This build isn't going to last too long. Yeah, got some cotton in there, that's for sure. Definitely got some cotton. Also, maybe I should have wet the wicks before I tucked them in there. It should actually, dripping right down the middle, should actually disperse it pretty good when you think about it. Like if I had the cap on and I just dripped it down the middle, it's going to get where it's got to go. Right on the coils. Yeah, I could have did one wick, that's true. Alright, let's do this. I just burnt myself like a fucking idiot. Yeah, I could have did one wick, and the only problem with that would have been, well, if I'm dripping it down the middle, it wouldn't have mattered. The only problem I would have ran into is maybe the middle coil doesn't get as much juice as the other two. Because I would run it through, run it around, and the ends would come out of one of these, which means the middle coil would probably not get as much juice from the well. This isn't going to be the most practical RDA anyway. I mean, I knew that coming in. Alright, back on the DNA, it's reading at a 0.1. It's 126 watts. Alright. I got 2 holes open on each side. It's actually not ungodly hot. It really isn't. And the airflow on 2 holes is a lot tighter than I thought for having actually 6 holes open. It's actually as airy as the Goon with 2 on each side. I thought it was going to be really airy. Now all open, it's too airy for me. Again, just don't juice in there, that's for sure. That's gonna happen on the first trip, though. Yeah, it's going. 3 coils is gonna eat up juice. It is tasty and hot, though. It's not ungodly hot, though. It really isn't. This metal drip tip ain't too bad. It's just getting a little hot now. But it's not unbearable. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Yeah, I'm gonna be getting out of here too also, so check out IG tomorrow. Maybe I'll do a Stitched Alien if I have time. I probably will. Other than that, Saturday's the next video. And next Tuesday I'll have another RDA. Yep. Addy, don't forget to go follow Addy219 and watch Fresh on his channel. Addy's on Fresh's channel all the time on Fridays. Every Friday you could catch Tuney on there. But thanks everybody. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the follows, all the subs. I'm moving my way to 500 subs this week. Then I'm going to look at doing another giveaway. Even though I'm an asshole and I haven't got out the first giveaway packages yet. But I've been keeping in touch with the guys. They're going out ASAP. Yeah, thanks. And I'm up to 7K on Instagram, so that's good. So, yeah, watch the replay if you didn't catch it. Share. If anybody's looking for tips on their coil building, send them over here. Yep. Thank God for recording. And there goes my 30 gauge. Alright, I guess I'm going to re-spool some 30. See ya.